Hey guys, Elijah here from Deep Roots Family Farm. Today I'm coming to you live from the greenhouse and we are going to be doing a seed starting tutorial today. I've had a lot of people ask me over the years, Elijah, how do you start your seeds? How do you work things at the start of the year? So this is my way to show you guys. We're going to be doing it easy today. We're going to be just doing a simple tray here. We're going to be doing peppers. I know a lot of people aren't sure what they can grow or what they can start from seed early in the year, like we're mid-February here right now on the West Coast. A lot of people don't start their peppers till about March-ish, but I always like to get a jump on things. I think the best gardeners in the area do plant their peppers and tomatoes a little earlier than necessarily says on the seed packet. So that's what we're here. Mid-February, planting peppers. These guys will be in their tray for a while. They're going to be probably going into the ground mid-May into June-ish. Like I'm growing them in the greenhouse here, so they'll be able to go in here in about May. But if you're growing them outside, definitely want to hold off until things warm up in June. But let's get into this. I'm excited to have you guys along for this and show you guys how I do this. So to start, a lot of people ask what kind of trays I grow in. So I am doing these 72 cell trays. They're a hexagonal tray, you guys can see here. So they're not your typical circle or your square. But hexagonal, basically, the reason I go with this is it helps create a better root system for your plugs. Sometimes if you have circular trays, your plugs, your roots will start to wind down and they can choke in on themselves. The hexagonal trays allow a lot of airflow to the roots and actually helps sort of self-root prune, which is a huge thing. This is where the air gets at the roots and keeps them from winding in on themselves. So I just got these from Canadian Tire. They're really easy to get. They're typically, most stores like that have them. Your garden centers will have variations on these too. But again, it's not a huge deal what you use, but I'm just for the sake of today using these hexagonal 72 cell trays. So next, I just use a basic starter mix, basic potting soil. Quite a fine mix. The big thing is you don't want a really clumpy mix when you're starting seeds. You want a nice, fine dirt to sow your seeds into. So what I'll do is I'll go into this, I'll dump a bunch of it on here, spread it out. Any big clumps I come across, I'll break them up. If there's like twigs or sticks, I'll just pull those out. But we'll just get into this and start to do this here. So you just basically bring your bag in. And again, you just want to get a nice, you want to fill it up till it looks sort of from the top to start. And then once we think we've got a decent amount on here, set that down off to the side. So you got big clumps like this. So you sort of just come in, break it up. I like to just run my, again, some people like to be really meticulous and clean. I think oftentimes as gardeners we can get too caught up in that. I think sometimes efficiency and just going quick and getting your done is awesome. So what I do is I just come in, I'll take all my excess dirt, I'll sort of brush it into the cell trays here. Get sure I get a nice even fill of the trays here. And then once I've gotten it so I can see all the cells again, the plugs, what I do is I give my trays a nice tap. And I'll do it a couple times. And what that does is it eliminates any air pockets that are formed as you're spreading the dirt in the trays. Because sometimes you'll put your seeds and then you'll water and all of a sudden your cells will just, the dirt will lower quite a bit because there's all these air pockets that settle as the moisture gets in there. So by tapping it and giving it a firm, hard tamp down, you've sort of eliminated that step in a sense. So basically, once I got it to this point, then I'm going to do an initial water. And the reason I do this is because, again, it's going to help settle. It's going to help settle any of the remaining dirt and any of the air pockets that are in there. And again, I'll water it, feel that weight again, tamp it down, and now you got a really nice start for putting your seeds in. Because a lot of people will do divots and poke their seeds into the exact depth. For me, if you do this step, you can basically just put your seeds right on top of this, push them down a little bit to get that nice soil contact, and you're ready to rock. So there we go. Next step, we're going to be doing one of my favorite pepper seeds to grow here on the West Coast. This is California Wonder. I get a lot of my seeds from West Coast Seeds, just a great local company, all heirloom, non-GMO seed, which is important to me. So we're just going to start into this. So basically what you do is you just rip open your seed packet, and what I will do here, get these guys out. I'll probably go through a couple packets here. We'll put that off to the side, put this off to the side here. And then again, whoever's sowed seed, it's simple. It's not rocket science. You take your seeds and you just sort of go along, lay them in the trays. And again, this part of the video can take a bit, so you know what? Feel free to fast forward until you see me stop doing this. Or just watch along for the adventure here. Sometimes you'll get one or two seeds that drop into the same same hole. It's not the end of the world. Sometimes even having 2 seeds in the same cell increases your chance of germination, because we all know that not every single seed in a seed packet is going to germinate. But I tend to typically just go with 1 seed per cell, especially with things like tomatoes and peppers, because I typically plant more than I need, and that sort of increases your chance of getting a good yield. So I'm not going to use everything in a 72 cell tray, but if you have any extra, you can give them away to people, sell them on the side. These plants are going to be super healthy, and they're going to do really well here. So we're just gonna stop talking here for a sec so I can focus on getting this hammered out, and catch up on the other side there. And there we are. Took a little bit, but 72 cells of peppers seeded. So that's one of the easiest parts to do. Most time consuming by far in the seed planting process is actually taking the time to put all your seeds in. But now that this is done, I'm going to show you guys a little tip and trick I learned quite a while ago, and it's greatly increased my yields. Most people will cover their seeds afterwards with this dirt again. They'll just take their potting soil, cover it back over, and that is totally acceptable if you want to do that. You don't want to spend the extra money to get what I'm going to show you next. But I typically do take a little bit of extra money, and I buy vermiculite. Now, this is a very, very porous substance that allows for a lot of air to get at your seedling as it starts to grow. The common mistake and common problem you occur with seedlings is dampening off, which is when your seedlings will grow and there's so much moisture at the soil that they rot out at the soil length and they'll flop over and die. Vermiculite, since I've started using it, I've basically cut my dampening off to basically 0%. Like, I don't lose anything anymore. It's a bit of a dusty mixture. It's very fine, very light. And again, I will just take this and basically I'm just gonna fill in the trays here. So I'll just take handfuls of it and I'll put it on top. And much like I sort of clear the soil away with my hand when I'm done filling up the soil, I just take my vermiculite, put it on top, and I'll fill in these cells as I go here. And again, it's a dry mixture that keeps your seedlings as healthy as possible. And again, like I said, I've eliminated all dampening off in my seedlings since I've started using this. It's phenomenal. And especially stuff like peppers and tomatoes that are in their cells for a lot longer, anything you can do to set them up for as much success you'll want to do, in my opinion. So yeah, it's a little bit of extra money, but again, vermiculite can be found at any of your garden centers, Canadian Tire, any places that sell plants typically or have any kind of garden section to them will carry vermiculite. If you're in a pinch, you can even use perlite, which is the tiny white light beads that look sort of like this. I've just found that vermiculite works the best for me, but again, feel free to experiment and do whatever works best for you. But now basically to close it off, you got your vermiculite on top, your trays look like that, basically ready to go. And you're gonna come back in and do one final water. And basically this is just gonna dampen your seed, which is gonna start that germination. And it's gonna wet the vermiculite down to keep a little bit of moisture on top. But you guys, there you go. That is Seed Starting 101 with me. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys have learned something new. I'm excited to be putting out a bunch more content like this. Feel free to follow me for more videos like this. Super excited to have you guys here. And good luck on your gardening journey this year, guys. Go get it.